Hello again, back for episode 10. In this one, we're gonna clean up my little if statement from last time. Something wasn't quite working right when the submit button was showing up for a guess. But then we are going to begin implementing the grading algorithm. So what am I talking about? Let's go to, not to there, to here. First of all, the problem we had was with, okay, 4 of them should have made that show up. But, it almost works. The thing is that when I just refreshed, so if I go, I click it, I unclick it, I click it, I unclick it. This is adding one, this is subtracting one, this is adding one. I click this. This is really not subtracting one, it's adding, but it acts like it's adding one, but it's not really adding one. But it lets me click another one. That submit button should have showed up. It's not a big deal. But when I click the submit button, right now it does a few things. It takes me to the next line, but it doesn't do this grading part. And how are we going to do this grading part? We have to compare our guess to this guess. And I think this was this guess. Let's look at answer component TS line 19. I think that's where we are. Come on, come on. Answer component 19. It is telling us the answer that we have to solve. Okay, so it is giving it, but notice how it gives it to us in the form of an array. Well, that's not cool. That's not cool. Well, it's actually, it's not cool that we have these as colors and these are numbers, but we can turn these colors into numbers. How can we do that? I just have to find where let me look at this TypeScript file. Definitely not that one. Not that one. Did I have a TypeScript file with an array of colors? Someone tell me I did. Oh, it was over here in PegTray. Okay. What is the index of red? It is 0. The index of blue is 1. The index of green is 2. So if I look at a color and it says you have red, I'll say what's the index of it? 0. So I have a way of converting red into 0 really quickly. And that's what we need to do. These are intentionally in the order to where they correspond for what we need. We talked about that in episode 1 or 2. Okay, this colors thing right here, which is in this peg tray, let me close all these. We probably want to move it to the service because I know we're going to be in the answer, open it back up. In the answer, this is the guess grade. I'm going to want to compare that. So I know I'm going to need that. So I'm going to just right off the bat move. Where'd it go? There. Move this into the data service. So I already have the data service in here. So and I brought this in. So what this is going to be called, instead of I have colors here, where did I use these colors? Did I use it in the HTML? Does it say color? Color of colors, let I index. It's going to be ds.colors. Anywhere else? It's not ds.color yet. I'm going to cut this out. Command X, delete, put you over in the service. Command V, now it's ds.color. It was that easy. But when you do come into problems is whenever I used it, I had to say ds.color. Okay, so one way to test it is, well, see if it crashes, and see if it still has the same functionality as before. These are all colored up. That's nice. Okay, I'm convinced. I'm convinced. All right, 3035. So what I want to do is when I click this submit button, I want to turn this into an array. If I can get that and then clean up my bug, this will be a successful video and I won't have to do it over. So the answer thing, first I want to, let's say this dot convert to numbers. This is a method that I haven't written yet that would convert something to numbers. What would it convert to numbers? It would convert this array. I think we're going to have to do more. I think we're going to have in the services, we're going to have the guess array. Guess array equals an empty array. So this is a guess array. It's going to be an array of numbers that it equals the. So we can change the guess array to the right now guess array. So now that this is in the service, everyone can see it, and who I am most concerned about seeing it is the guess. I want to, when we color me, is that when we're going to add it to when we're going to create the guess array? Is that where we should do it? Or is it when I hit submit? I think when I hit submit, I should create the guess array. I've got all kinds of ideas. This peg number is going to correspond. The array is going to have 0, 1, 2, 3. This peg is going to have 0, 1, 2, 3. So in my service, I'm going to have it equal to a bunch of negative ones. Because now there's an index. I can talk about index 2 now because there is one. Before I couldn't talk about index. I can't talk about an index until we have that many things in there. So I want to be able to talk about the indexes, but they better never, they have to, I don't want, these better all change before this goes into get graded. Okay, so where was I going with that? On the answer, on the guess, something else that's going to happen. All these things are going on. We got this dot ds dot, what did I just call that? Guess array. And if I say sub 0 or sub 1 equals this color, not this, yeah, the selected color, and the selected color was red. Let's just look at what happened, and then I'm going to say it might be underlining it for a fancy reason. What does it say? Type string is not assignable to type number. Well, that's pretty cool. This is a color, and my array is full of numbers, so it's saying you can't do that. That is fine with me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say it's the index of, and basically I take an array, the array we just made a second ago, which was called the colors array, and I'm going go back to the guess. And I'm going to say this.ds.guess, no, colors, dot index of. The index of what? Well, dink, dink. I think this is the right syntax, but this right here is just talking about an array of strings. And I say, what is the index of? And right here is a string. So this is going to return, if it's a red, it's going to return a 0. And then I'm going to say, okay, this.guessArray sub1 becomes 0. Of course, we don't want it to be sub1, but that's what I have it to, which is actually the second one. So let's just log this and see if that works. We got that to clean up still, but let's just log. Let's just log the guess array. So it should be a bunch of negative ones, except for the second one, which would be a number 0 through 5. And I want a semicolon. Okay. Ooh. 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 I got a fly. When it said invalid provider in ng module app.module, that makes me think I didn't bring my service in somewhere where I used it. Where is there left? Probably, nope. The peg tray's got it. Nope. Could be a typo that it's making it interpret it to it. I mean, I think everything's had this. Do I need this here? Can't see why that would be it. You're in there. The board, which doesn't need it, doesn't have it. And that has it. Let me refresh this and take a look again. Only instances of provider and type are allow. So something I just made, it didn't like. Is it something I made on the board? No. Is it something I made in the peg tray? Maybe. Guess is no. I'm thinking it's something I made right here. I'm thinking it has something to do with this. This.guessArray. And I also mess with my service. Guess array, I command C that, equals a bunch of negative ones. That's so legal. That is so legal. Talking about it right here. This.ds.guessArray. So I'm going to comment out this. And I'm still going to print it out. Let's see if it likes that. Nope. Okay. I'm going to comment you out. Command S. No. So that means, what else did I even change? That means, is it in my data state of service that I'm having a problem? Well, so it's not throwing an error. It did that. I'm almost wondering if it's just freaking out. I'm going to bring this back. Tink. Command S. It's okay. It's not against that anymore. Weird. Where's? Will you let? Can I bring this back now? Are you going to throw up me now? It's allowing that now. And it's allowing that now. Can't explain it. Okay, So what it did, remember this is in the 0th spot, it made the 1 spot a 0. If I do this, it's always going to affect this one. But if I click anything, it's going to turn this 0 into a, well, 0, 1 to a 2. You see it? So the trick is, instead of saying the first one, we want to correspond to it. But we have something built in. If you don't see it, don't feel bad. This peg is actually keeping track of where we are in there, I think. I might be totally wrong, but we'll know in a second. Okay, so that made that one a 0. This is a 1. This is a 2. That's a 3. That's exactly right. What if I say, make this black? Oh, gotta hit submit. Black, 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 black. Oh, gotta hit submit. 5, that's a 5, that's a 5, that's a 4, that's a 4. You know, I mean, when I hit submit, that array should be because look, I'm going to hit this here. It's working great, that trick, except for that right now, what is it equal to? I hit submit, it should equal to a bunch of negative ones, and it's equal to what it used to equal to. The only change is this. So that's probably not going to cause a problem, but when I hit submit, I'm going to reinitialize it because it's not a big deal. So when does that submit happen? It happens in the answer, in the component. When I hit it, I'm going to reinitialize it, but I got to use it first. So there's going to be other things that happen in here. But for now, I'll just reinitialize it. This dot ds dot grade, not grade, guess. I don't remember what it was. How do I forget things so quickly? Guess array. Command V equals, we'll just say -1, -1, -1, -1. And like I said, I don't think that was going to that was actually going to be a problem, but just in case. Okay, but also what might be a problem is if I reinitialize it and then I go on to use it after I reinitialize it. Because remember, the only reason I wanted it was so in here I can do some sort of compare. Like here, I'm going to do it. It's going to be, well, after I make it, it's going to be the compare thing. This compare arrays. And I could pass them in, but they're both accessible through the service. So this is just saying compare them. Then this reuses it. So now I better make this thing. Command C, Command V equals a function which I can't remember the syntax for all this stuff. And this was just logged. It's going to log two things. It's going to log, apparently a semicolon. It's going to log this. And what we call the answer array. Did I put the answer array into a service? The guess array, well, here is, we're going to compare it to the answer array, which is not in a service, but it is part of this very component. So I can just say that I can just take a do that, but I don't have to put a DS. I cannot put a DS. Go away. Because this is not part of the service. So all this is going to do now is show the things that I'm comparing. I'm going to save it. Did I have it printing something up over here still? Let's get rid of this console log right here. Any other console logs? I know I had a console log. Let's see. So that should be 0, 1, 2, 3. When I hit submit, it says you're comparing your 0, 1, 2, 3 with my 2, 3, 2, 4. So we have the startings of it. We're going to continue on with that. And now, as promised, I have to fix the algorithm over here. This if, okay, I think what's happening is it says, okay, if the selector isn't, remember there's two things. There is when this is absolutely brand new fresh, there isn't a selected color. Right now there's no selected color. So that's why I shouldn't be able to push this in any situation. Now there isn't a way to not have one because it's never going to go away. So if this dot selected is not equal to this, and the current color is not equal to the selected color, like as if, so this allows this to equal another color, which is fine because we would like to reset that color. But if it equals another color, that color was counted the first time. We don't want to count it this time. So we can break this part out of the if. We can put an if around this. This probably isn't the shortest way, but it's probably the clearest way. So if the current color is equal to nothing. Delete. If it's equal to nothing, then do all this. And then we're going to put else if. So you see what's happening. This is the third situation. So this is the else if, and if it's, you can see, if the current color is not equal, to that. If the current color is not equal to that, but if it's not equal to that, then it might be equal. Remember, this one is for when it turns it back to the beginning. So we're going to have to put another and here. And the current color is not equal to the selected color. If that happens, also do this, but don't increment it. I am quite positive there was a shorter way to say this. And I'm not quite positive that it's going to work. I definitely could do some cleaning up. Let's put a tab in there. And I'm actually going to put a tab here, and here, and here. These are just lining up to make these readable. This is an if this, and this, and this. Just like the if this, and this. Usually you don't have ifs that are so long you got to do that, but I didn't invent this. I'm not the first guy to break these out into their own lines. Okay. Command S to save it. Over here. Did it just say nothing changed? I'm just doing that. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Show up. Now will it go away? Go away. Come back. Go away. Huh? Huh? Show up. Go away. Oh, not go away. Now go away. Yeah, it seems to be working now. I can't make it crash now. Yeah, it should go away because there's nothing there. I know these blues are really close, but just again, I wasn't. This isn't about CSS. If you're this far, you got the CSS and you don't need me for that. In fact, you could probably give me a CSS video. But what I really need is to know what looks good. That is where I This looks great to me. Why do we keep doing that? Escape. All right, I think I am done. I will see you guys in episode 11.